Hey, it's Saturday morning, September 14th. Yesterday was Friday the 13th, and we had a beautiful full moon. And the way I understand that doesn't happen again until 2049. I decided to slip in a podcast real quick. It's a Juniper Moon trunk show that I'm having, and the shop is due to open in like 35 minutes. So I snuck in here. Hopefully, no one will knock on the door. It says closed. This is not my usual podcast. I won't be doing the giveaways today. This is just a quick look at all these beautiful Juniper Moon things. Up in that corner, if you see that funky brown area in my ceiling, that got knocked in by a fireman some time ago, and I was here late and I smelled this burning smell, and I started to get more and more concerned, and it was a ballast melting, which before that I didn't even know what a ballast was. Okay, I think I better slow down. I'm on high octane. I'm Catherine Kirby. Welcome to the Creative You podcast. I'm out of McSherrystown, Pennsylvania, which is near Gettysburg, abuts Hanover. This is a knitting and crocheting podcast. However, for the Juniper Moon Trunk Show, they only sent knitting items, but crocheters, the yarns are still beautiful and great for crocheting. So we'll start with the Finley lace. Finley's one of my favorite yarns, and it is a 50% silk, 50% merino, 798 yards for $25. Great deal. I think one of the best kept secrets in a yarn shop is lace weight yarn. A lot of projects are done on a US 5 or US 6 needle and knit up quickly. So this is a top called Echo. You have a color block effect on the bottom, nice and springy. I just keep imagining myself wearing a top like this. The gals that came in and got yarn to do this, I can't wait to see how the colors they picked out work up. This is called Echo. It's available through Knitting Fever, and you use the Finley. There's also Finley Dappled, which sells for $5 more, comes in gorgeous, gorgeous colors, and I'm going to show you a project right now. It's kind of interesting on YouTube. If you have a channel, you can look and see how many people watch and how many people shut you down right away. And I know I'm not for everybody. Nobody is. But the last podcast, which was a Knitting Fever fall yarns, I did kind of talk about a lot of other things before I got to the Knitting Fever, and a lot of people didn't give me a chance to get to the products. I don't know. What do you think? If I watch a knitting podcast and it's all just business, I cast this on, this is what I did, and then I did this and this onto net. I want a little bit more of the person. I want to get a feel for who they are, maybe where they live, what they're all about. Maybe people don't like stories. I don't know. But, you don't have to suffer with me if you don't like me. This is called the Viki Shawl, V-I-K-I. It's beautiful. There's a lot of it. And this takes 2 skeins. And when you see it on the model and you see it draped across her back, it's really pretty. I could even picture a cold winter evening and just being all wrapped up, but I think there's a lot you can do with it. Some of these shawls actually almost look like sweaters when you see them on, because you think it's a sweater. This could be done smaller for just a small scarf, but it is a beautiful, beautiful shawl. That might give you a better view. This color, unfortunately, is discontinued, but there's lots of other lovely colors, and you can go to knittingfever.com. I'm just going to tell you, I'm not affiliated with, whoa, I'm not affiliated with Knitting Fever. I'm not an employee. I don't get any kickbacks. I just wanted to put that in case you all thought that I was. And then this beautiful shawl actually has little nups in it. You know what? Until I saw this on the camera, I didn't really appreciate them just on a mannequin. But they really are pretty. It's a one skein project unless you do the little nups. And then it's a two skein project. So, and that also is available. It's called Diamond Lace Shawl. You can get patterns directly off their website or through your local yarn shop. Maybe you can't get them directly through there. Look at that beautiful border. I shouldn't say that when I'm not sure. This just might have been the most popular piece. Someone last year said that 2019 was going to be the death to the shawl. What do you think? You know, I know that shawl knitting has definitely slowed down, but it's certainly not dead. And y'all know all the different ways that you can wrap your shawls and all. So, Diamond Lace Shawl, one skein of Finley, or if you do the nups, more than one. Okay, now this is one of my favorite things, that I don't feel so bad. Do y'all sing in the car or in the shower? I do, and little children do. I love to hear little children when they're playing just singing. I was telling somebody the other day, if you don't have a little child in your life, you're missing out. I know my grandkids really give a lot to me, and I was watching Tobin the other day, and he had seen this cicada at his house. He was carrying in his milkshake, and he heard this cicada going round and round and making all this noise, and he started screaming. Well, then the next time he saw a cicada, we were walking Ellie, and same routine, but this time he wasn't scared, and Ellie snatched it up in her mouth. So now he's not afraid of cicadas, and he's kind of proud of himself. Then he comes in and he says, Grandma, there's a cicada in Mac's water dish. Mac is our cat. And my husband says, that's not a cicada, that's a cricket. And he's like, cricket? So we go out to look. Yeah, the whole area lately has been infested with crickets. What's a cricket do? I had to think about that, you know, because if you saw a bird you've never seen before, or whatever, you'd say, what's a robin? What's a blue jay? What's a grasshopper? But what's a cricket do? I thought maybe I should rethink that when I find out about something new. What makes that creature unique? I talked to a guy one time that goes under the sea diving, and it's like an orchestra under the sea. Every creature has its own musical instrument, and it's an amazing orchestra. This is the Carlotta scarf. It's one of my favorites. It's a unique pattern. It's a unique way to do it, and since it's a pattern you have to purchase, I can't give too much away. It's done with 3 different colors. It looks like it would be a fast knit, but I just feel like I would be wrapped in luxury, either under a coat, curled up as a cow, wrapped around my shoulders, and I don't know that I would want to make it for just anybody. We got in this discussion at the yarn shop about, you know, do you tell people what you paid for the yarn? What if they think you just spent $10 on the yarn and whipped this up in an evening? You know, I don't know. 3 skeins of Finley. It's kind of a personal thing, but there is also Finley Dk. And same composition, 50% silk, 50% merino. Has a beautiful sheen. Just gorgeous. This is a beautiful sweater that they sent. I love the composition. Cables around the neck and the sides. Whoops, little lady there, cover your tush. My husband is a firstborn. Firstborns, she lost her topper. Tend to be very, historical. Talk about the way things were when I was raised, I was told, I was taught. And a friend of mine, we were talking about that, and she said, is that why my husband's always talking about when he was a kid on the farm? Yeah, so if you have a firstborn husband or a spouse with a firstborn personality, you can delight them by pulling from the past. So the other night, I figured out the year that my husband would have been 7 to 8 years old when you watch a lot of television shows, and you can actually go online and pull up a television schedule night by night. We had a blast. And then I also pulled up lingo and slang from like the 1950s, after the Depression, 1930s, and we had a lot of fun with that, with those words that really aren't used anymore, but it was fun. So this top is called Galatia Sweater by Claudia Wersing. They use Claudia Wersing a lot as a designer, and they also sent me a hat and mitts called Pila hat and mitts. I like it. I don't think it shows off the yarn's sheen, but for not having a brim, it's nice and stretchy and hugs your head very nicely. Here I am. Remember Minnie Pearl from all those years ago that wore the hat with the tag on it? Cute little pattern. One skein for the hat, one skein for the fingerless mitts. And then they had a pattern that I was looking at called Somerset Hills, and I decided to try them out. So this was just one evening of sitting around watching a movie with my husband. Haven't worked in the ends, but I think this project shows off the beautiful sheen. It's a lacy cable, which is pretty. These get tied together. Now I just have to do the other one, but I like it. And when all those ends are tied in and everything, I think it will be very pretty. Okay, on with the show. Who said that? Rocky and Bullwinkle. Wow, I'm really dating myself. I think I also had a Vogue magazine that I've had for quite a while, and I've wanted to do that cowl for some time. And so this is, again, Finley Dk Dapple. I decided to do something different for the bind off. I did knit 3 stitches and then pass the first stitch over the other 3. I got a very pretty I-cordish kind of braided look. It made it look like a necklace. What I didn't like was that it puckered the stitches, so I tore that all out. And tearing out binding is not one of my favorite things, but it's cute. I have a little bit of curl there. I haven't blocked it yet. Once I block it, it's going to really bring out the lacy effect. The other thing is, some people do cowls. This is more like, to me, a decorative cowl, although it would keep you somewhat somewhat warm, but to me it's almost like a yarn necklace. People don't like the cows that stick out like boards. There you can kind of get the lacy effect. This was definitely fun. It was a 4-row repeat, and you could always tell which row you were on by how you had finished up. I enjoyed this. I'd like to do some other ones, maybe in variegated colors and so forth. Okay. The so forth I get from my husband. I've never in my life used that phrase. The longer you're married, the more you become like each other. And he always says, and so forth. Okay, now let's do Harriet. Juniper Moon Herriot Great. This is baby alpaca at its finest. This is a luscious, amazing yarn. Beautiful neutral colors, but also colorful colors as well. It's a bluish, purplish. Fall, I start thinking of these type colors. You know, you can love a color but not look good in a color. Well, then use it for a blanket or pillows or something. This, when I first got this out, I thought, oh, it's like a helmet hat. It's one of those baklava or ski masks. Who's going to want that? But I love it. Once I tried it on, got over my first impressions, and I think it might be nice just to do the hat by itself. Wow, out shoveling snow, I got my cowl. I think guys would like this too. I can pull it up if it's, you know, freezing, or I can just have a cowl. So, alpaca is very warm. If you're wearing things indoor, you can get pretty toasty. I like the pattern of the hat. Some people just wanted to do the hat. So I guess you'd have to cut it off there and then maybe that would be all you would need. But this again is available, and this is called Rona, R-O-N-A, Rona Hooded Cowl. Okay. Also, if you've never done double knitting, double knitting cowl, also with Herriot Great. I'd like to try double knitting. I haven't done it, but I would like to do it. Here I am looking things up on my paper, and right there is everything I need. Stars Falling Cowl. I have some of their other patterns. We have made Smudge, really nice. It's done with Herriot Great, but they knit up nice and lightweight, and I have shown those on podcast. Somewhere in the shop I have the Hope Diamond Cowl, which you can do shorter if you don't want to do a long. They also have a cowl called Birch and Walnut. I'd like to see that done in bright colors too. And then there is the Herriot Dk weight. Again, beautiful neutral colors. The showstopper that they sent me with this is just incredible. Everybody loves it. Everybody wishes they could pilfer it and keep it. It is an incredible sweater. Isn't that gorgeous? The band is double, and it feels, because it's double, it feels padded. But wow, incredible garment, incredible color combination, incredibly soft. What is not to love? There are the sleeves. I've noticed patterns are starting to come out with flared sleeves again. These are slightly flared. Very pretty, incredibly pretty. So this is the Herriot Dk. Wow. So I think the last yarn I have to show you is Neve. Neve is a cotton worsted. This little gal is showing a little shoulder there. This is the mannequin one time that was left in the window bare. I didn't know it. My grandkids were helping me in the shop. I thought everything was finished. And Tuesday night came for knitting, and one of the ladies walked in and said, "Whoa, talk about inappropriate." What? What's inappropriate about my shop? It was this mannequin. Oh, so this is Neve, done in a number 10 needle, which gives it a looser look. Cassandra sweater. I started this pattern, and there are some sketchiness in it. They forget to tell you to join and other issues, but I was a little bit concerned that some people might feel they always had to have a tank top or a top under it because of where this open area is. So I am doing mine without the zigzag, just the zigzag on the shoulders. So reminds me of one time when I was in training. I was shadowing a doctor all day, and my brother had sent me this nice cotton cardigan, but it kept falling off my shoulder. And finally this doctor said, "That is bothering me." Sorry. I couldn't fix it because it kept sliding, but you know, it's how some people, when they walk in a room, have to straighten a painting if it's curved. This is just a nice little scarf pattern. I like it a lot. I'd like to make some up in different colors. You can just tie them on and add color to anything, you know, any t-shirt or anything. And this is what the yarn looks like. You get 222 yards. Worsted weight cotton, made in Peru. Lots of pretty colors. And this is one of their samples. Isn't that so pretty? You know, I've appreciated these samples, seeing them more, holding them up for all of you, than seeing them lay here, because now I really see the beauty of these colors strung together. This is, if any of you have ever done Grandma's dishcloth, this is started like that. You start and you keep building up, and when you get halfway done, you start decreasing. And this yarn is soft. It's nice. It sells for $12. This is reversible. And there are so many different colors that could be done. One of the ladies picked a white, like a yellow lime green, and was it a blue? And I think that would be very pretty. So I cast on yesterday. I really love this pattern. Entrechat. Is that how you say it? I'm not sure. Lisa Churnery. And then she also brought this pattern out for teens and adults as well. It's a quick little knit. I decided to do the pumpkin color. I kind of stay away from those colors because I don't look good in them. But I could picture a little baby with dark hair and a certain looking great in this. So I got this done just last night. And I think I'll be finished today, but I was thinking how pretty with maybe a little blue button or a little butterfly. And the yarn knits up nicely. It has nice stitch definition. So that is Neve. I missed the crocheted scarf that I did with Harriet. Of course, I think it should be wider, but I like this pattern. Came out of a crochet book. Okay, I think last but not least is Dromedary. Dromedary is baby camel and extra fine merino. Oh, when those colors look nice together. And when I first looked at this, I thought it was made out of Harriet, the baby alpaca, because it's so soft. And when you feel this, I would have never thought that this would knit up into this fabric. I like this because when you're driving in the car and you want your arms free, and I think that would be really nice, or a fall day. And I have seen this pattern on their website, but I kind of shrugged it off. But when you see it for real, when you feel it, and oh, it's just so much nicer. Wouldn't this look pretty in a turquoise? And then what color would you put with it? So for the giveaway this time, why don't you write what 2 colors you would do this in? And it doesn't have to be an actual color that they sell, just 2 colors. What 2 colors would you choose? The giveaway is a skein of Juniper Moon Finley. Unfortunately, I can't ship international. I just can't swing it. But if you're international, I could give you a gift certificate. So what do you think? What do you think of all these beautiful things? It's been fun. I'm going to feel really sad when I have to box it up and ship it out. So watch for my regular podcast. It will be coming up soon because I have fuzz in my mouth. I've been knitting up things and doing things with these yarns and having a lot of fun. And one of my customers who came in here and saw different things and different stages of being finished said, "How many projects do you do at a time?" And I said, "Just one." It wasn't a lie. You can only work on one thing at a time, right? So, goodbye. Have a great weekend, and I'll catch you next time. Shine, baby, shine. If you have any questions, just message me. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.